Comrades, it's with a heavy heart that I need to announce that the West has fallen. Freedom is over. Democracy is done. And the reason I know that is because Craig Kelly got egged. That's never happened before, has it? Look, the cunt looks like Bebop. I hate him. He's an anti-Semite. And that's what the egger told him. And that's really good. He's pretty much just the Anning of this election. UAP are a bit more ideologically vague, as befits the freedom movement that they're trying to parasitise. But as I've been covering at length in article and in video over the past week or two, they've pandered to anti-Semitism and even included neo-Nazis in their campaign and their party circles for long enough. And someone took it upon themselves to egg them. And that's good.
Stop hanging out with Nazis. Stop hanging out with Nazis. You're anti-Semite. You're an anti-Semite. You're a Nazi lover.
What do you think fucking Dan Andrews is?
You're a Nazi lover, Craig. You're fucking our democracy. You're a Nazi lover, Craig. You're a Nazi lover, Craig. Hey, stop hanging out with Nazis. You're an anti-Semite. You're an anti-Semite. You're a Nazi lover. Your security team are Nazis. You're a Nazi-loving piece of shit, Craig.
All right, let's go.
But that's not what I want to tell you. What I want to tell you is that, look, I don't know who did this, but I did receive anonymous third-party information through Telegram illuminating more of the situation. So there's a couple of things to say here. One is that apparently the egger, I'm told, saw that the egg itself cracked so well or so deeply over Kelly's big body that it ran down his neck like a yellow river and ended up pouring. And they saw this. The juice of the egg poured into his arse crack, which was visible because, his shirt was lifted up a bit. He's a big boy. And that's humiliating, and I thought that was newsworthy. So that's one of the main reasons I'm doing this video. Now, the other thing is that, as the egger was running away, he, as you heard in that video before, was yelling that they were the enemy of democracy, which is pretty funny. And it seems that his team took all that quite literally. So the egger jumped into a car, and a large grown man in high vis and a Clive Palmer shirt on a bike started riding towards the egger and whoever else was in this car. And this large grown man, remember, grown adult man, ran their bike into this car to stop the car from leaving. And then got off the bike, left the bike in the middle of the road, and started to try and grab the steering wheel and all the keys to stop the car from leaving. Remember, Craig Kelly didn't have his throat slit. He wasn't murdered, okay? He got egged. You know like how kids do on Halloween? Okay, so he's trying to take... The West has fallen. He's trying to take the wheel, grab the keys out, and then they're trying to get away in the car. And this grown adult, remember, think about adulthood and all this entails. This man might even have a family. This grown man leapt onto the windshield of the car as it was trying to leave and held onto the windscreen wipers and was trying to stop the car from leaving. You see, the whole movement operates on movie tropes, and they're usually the movie trope is Braveheart. But I suppose this time, this guy started thinking, this is my time to operate on Tom Cruise movie tropes. I can do a bit of a Mission Impossible now. So he's holding onto the windscreen, and in the car, apparently, they're just sitting there looking at him. So it wasn't quite a Bruce Willis movie until other drivers who couldn't leave, mind you, because this is a busy street, and they're trying to get past, but there's a fucking grown man flailing about on the windshield of a car and a bike in the middle of the road. Other drivers got out and started remonstrating with this person, saying, can you please maybe go away? So that's it. That's it. That's all I got. That's the story. I don't give a fuck if you got egged. It's great. It's great. You know what? Don't be afraid to platform anti-Semitism and you might not cop an egg. If the worst you can say, we've said all this before with Anning. If the worst you can say, after everything that cunt's fucking stood for, is that you got a bit of an egg when you were trying to do all that shit in order to run Australia, not just organise a chook raffle, run the country. And the worst that you can say is that you copped an egg. You know, like a house on Halloween? Well, you're not doing that bad, are you? Anyway, here's a little video to close out of Kelly being cleaned up by some flogs, you know, some UAP flogs, desperately trying to save the egg-stained tatters of the West.